this is such an essential one, as those of you that were listening, you know already that my video automatically stopped. This is so important. I'm going to continue, and so this is part 2, and I will have this part 2 in part 1 as well, so that you can find it easily, and you'll already know that. I will see if I can put that in the title too, so that you will know that to look in the description box for this part, the second part, for those of you who were listening to the first part. Okay, so let's keep going here. This is very important. It's big stuff, it's heavy stuff, and I know. And I was in the middle of speaking too. Let's see if I can remember what I was saying. Oh, about Pluto. And specifically if you have your south node, a node in the 8th house, or even your north node in Scorpio, or the 8th house. Okay. It's going to take you, because Pluto it takes you to the depths, and it doesn't care about what experiences, if they're how destructive that it might be to you, or painful, or whatever. Pluto is going to force you to go through specific experiences so you may get to the root of that, so you have the chance to transform and rise up like the phoenix from the ashes. Again, the saying comes to mind. Let's make sure the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Absolutely is Pluto. It's talking about Pluto. And then Mars, as we already know, is a lesser of Pluto. It's expression of Pluto, a little milder expression of Pluto. Okay, all right. So in general, Mars Pluto individuals have the capacity for total self-transformation or total self-destruction. And again, you're going to be taken to the self-destruction first before you have the ability or the chance to learn, because also Scorpio and Pluto have everything to do with experiences. You have to personally experience something in the negative, in the destructive, before you have the ability to rise up like the phoenix. Okay. Of course, these two archetypal dynamics can cyclically alternate throughout life. Negatively expressed, the Mars component can become intoxicated by its own egocentric and individual power as a transmitted reflection of the separating desire of the soul, which soul Pluto. In varying ways, the individual refuses to acknowledge that anything or anyone is more powerful than him or herself. The picture in mind, moth to the flame. In this reaction, the individual refuses to accept any limitation. Yes, the moth to the flame. So you're gonna insist upon keep going. You're not going to give up that you have a limitation, or that you can die, or that whatever that is inside you, which is scorpionic, is gonna press you to keep going for it because you can break that, or you can change that, or you can do something different through that same particular experience or thought process, which isn't true until you see that it isn't true. whatever way that is. For each and every one of you, it's going to be different because your natal planets and your planet positioning in your natal wheel are individual and unique. Okay. The attitude is commonly, I will do whatever I damn well please. Absolutely, that's Scorpio. That's Pluto. Anything Scorpio you have, you will understand that. Okay. And I don't care what the consequences may be. Yes, yes. There you go. Moth to the flame. Such an individual can be amazingly ruthless and willful in obtaining or actualizing whatever needs or desires he or she has. Yes, absolutely. And that can be to your own detriment and or to others, or both. It's tough. It's absolutely tough. I will not mince words on that. Okay, so especially for those of us with the South Node and this Pluto Mars in aspect. Okay. At some point, the evolutionary desire emanating from the soul to transform and correct the situation will manifest itself as undermining type activity. That is absolutely correct. This is absolutely correct. In other words, the person will subconsciously set up situations or circumstances that will backfire. Absolutely true. This effect will enforce emotional shocks. Again, this effect will enforce emotional shocks. The emotional shocks will induce an inner soul searching that can lead to a metamorphosis of this type of behavior and personality identity. Excuse me, personal identity. Let me read that sentence again because that is absolutely true. The words are coming so fast in my mind, I can't get them out fast enough because this is so true, and it's all has to do with you're going to go through these types of experiences. You can't just listen to this, and listening to this, you will know and be able to pinpoint different experiences that you've already been through. And so you will have acknowledgement of this. Absolutely, for those that this pertains to, or how this pertains to specifically for each one of you. Okay, let me say it again. The emotional shocks will induce an inner soul searching that can lead to a metamorphosis of this type of behavior and personal identity. Again, you might have to go through many similar experiences because this is Scorpio we're talking. Pretty hard-headed and stubborn. And Scorpio is the opposite of Taurus, and Taurus is also very stubborn. So that's why I'm saying even oppositions of yourself, your nodes with involving Taurus and Scorpio and or Pluto Mars even, and a combination of such, okay. And even 7th house people with any of those Plutos, Scorpio, or Pluto in the 7th house, even if it's not Scorpio, okay. And there's more. That's just, again, the top of my head, so you be the judge listening to this for yourself. For those who align themselves on a path of personal transformation, the rapidity of personal growth is rarely fast enough for them. Unfortunately, that is absolutely true too. It's absolutely true. Compared to the growth of others, it is amazingly quick, but not quick enough for the individual's own point of view. That's true. That's absolutely true. Impatience, anger, and rage are not uncommon reactions as these individuals encounter one limitation, one obstacle, one old compulsion or habit pattern after another. True. Absolutely true. On the one hand, they will desire to purge themselves of these limitations, and on the other hand, they can become angry at the obstacles themselves and resent having to deal with them. Yes, I went through all of that. All of that. So I do have an understanding. I do understand. This apparent paradox reflects the coexisting desires in the soul. In addition, these types can be impatient at the growth rates of other people, especially those close to them. These behavioral dynamics can be intensified or mellowed depending on the overall nature of the individual and the specific aspect from Mars to Pluto with respect to the houses and signs they occupy. The greatest challenge in Mars-Pluto aspects is to align the personal will with a sense of higher will or purpose. I'm going to repeat that. That's big. The greatest challenge in Mars-Pluto aspects is to align the personal will with a sense of higher will or purpose. Any resistance to this ultimate evolutionary need is based on the separating desires originating from Pluto that are transmitted to the egocentric structure of Mars. Meaning, any of you that there's still resistance, that scorpionic resistance, stubbornness, Taurus stubbornness, Scorpio stubbornness, you will have repeated, you'll just go through that same cycle and have repeated experiences until you specifically are full enough of that moth to the flame experience. You've gained enough experientially wise, I can't say the word, to then see it differently and go about a different, a higher purpose, using your will in a higher, You won't resist anymore, basically. The words aren't coming to me. Sorry about that. Okay. Hopefully you understand what I mean. Okay. So there's just a little bit more to read. This resistance, okay, and he's saying this resistance is based on fears of losing control, of being possessed, or consumed by forces greater than the individual, and the sense of powerlessness that these fears induce. Once this resistance is eliminated, the individual's actions and desires will be in conformity to a higher will. There you go. There you go. Once this attunement to a higher will is realized, again, it gets realized through one or more experiences of this similar type, the individual can progress. Then you can progress. Yes. Attain and actualize his or her own purpose, desires, and ambitions more quickly and effortlessly than do others. Okay. So yes, he explained it much better than I was trying to explain it. Okay. That's it. All right. So I will also, for those of you that chose to listen to this part 2 first, I will also put the part 1, what do you call that? Link. There we go. The part 1 link in the description box below this video as well. Okay, and any of you who want a written copy, send me an email. Okay, and let me know, and I will absolutely be happy to send that to you. Okay, hot and heavy. This was a big, heavy one, so very essential to deal with. Pluto it's deep, and it's not an easy, it's very deep, and what's the word I'm wanting? Essential planet to have to deal with. He's not gonna, Pluto, I put it as a he, doesn't matter, it's not a he or she, but Pluto, wherever it is in your chart, is serious business, and it will not allow, at some point in your life, it to go unnoticed. And specifically those of us that have aspecting Mars or any other planets, it's not going to allow us to skate through without these types of experiences. Okay, all right, for our personal growth. That's the key, and transformation for our personal selves. It's for us, okay? No blame, no guilt, no shame. And I guess that's all I have to say until next time. Bye.